why it was so dark in here. Got to turn on the track lighting. All right. You got everything good on your end here?
Yeah, I'm battling people on Twitter right now.
Jeff started early, man. I was looking at Twitter, getting the AP poll ready, and then I already saw what was going on. I was like, oh, God. Here we go. What's up, Seth? Thanks for joining us, man. Oh, look, it's Seth's little girl's birthday. She's 3 today. Happy birthday to your daughter, man. What's up, Sam Salinas? Thanks for joining. Hope you had a good time in San Antonio over the weekend, Seth. Saw that you brought the family in. What's up, Sean? How's it going, Sean?
Dude, it is cold in your studio today.
Is it?
Yeah.
I put the fan on. You want me to turn the fan off?
No, I'm fine. I'll be all right. I don't hear anything in my ears, by the way.
Oh, you should.
Yo. Test 1, 2, 3. There you go. Okay, I do. Dude, so much to get into today.
Had a great football game over the weekend, man. Georgia and UT.
Dude, we're going to revisit this topic because I said something about a week or two ago on the show that's going to come true.
So how many times are they going to meet each other?
I told you they're going to lose them 3 times.
This is the second time, right? They already beat them. They already not beat them, but they beat them the first time, right? Georgia
Right.
beat Texas. Beat them again.
Texas
right?
beat themselves.
Again, yeah. Missed kicks didn't help.
All those penalties in the first half.
Yeah, didn't
They
help.
dominated Georgia in the first half.
Yeah. It's like, really? Are they going to meet each other in the championship game?
What's the over-under on Burrow yards today? 400.
Oh, Going to have a great game. They're going to lose.
Welcome to another episode of the Alamo City Sportscast with Mike Jimenez and Joe Garcia. Make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. Join the discussion as we broadcast live from beautiful West San Antonio. And remember to tip your hosts as it helps the show grow.
Happy Monday. This is the Alamo City Sportscast coming at you from the west side of San Antonio. My name is Mike Jimenez. That is Joe Garcia. Joe, it's a good day, man.
Yeah, it is.
It's a very good day. Spurs coming off a victory, back at 500. Dallas Cowboys back in action tonight against the Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow comes to town.
Yeah.
Lots to get into. CP3 getting emotional. Sochan fans getting even more emotional.
Oh, we still got the one emotion. I'm still here,
Waffle. We have the biggest contract in baseball history. The Chiefs keep winning in dramatic fashion. Dude, the road to the Super Bowl is going to go through Kansas City yet again, dude.
Jeez,
Big
man.
surprises in the NFL. One of the largest bets of all time was placed, and the guy almost lost. He won, but he almost lost in Vegas over the weekend. We'll talk about that. We do sports, pop culture, and nostalgia. You can be part of the show by being part of our YouTube stream.
Speaking of the chat, look at what's going on right now. Chris Gonzalez says, pour some out for the end of the Era Tour.
Yeah, Taylor Swift. Tay-Tay.
149 shows, about $5.2 billion.
Dude, it was so big of a tour that the nation of Canada reached out to her and said, our tourism has dropped. We need you over here. When countries are reaching out, when Mexico City goes all out for her,
yeah,
it was amazing, dude. She's a legend, dude. I mean, she's in the realm of Michael Jackson now, dude. She's up there in the pantheon of the GOATs of all time. So congratulations to Taylor Swift and her boyfriend, Travis Kelce, who, again, they got another victory yesterday in dramatic fashion.
Yeah, I just wanted to take a quick minute here again. Friend of the show was just letting us know, a good supporter of the show too, our good friend Seth Elias. He was just saying that it's his daughter's birthday, so happy birthday to your daughter, man. We'll go ahead and put the fireworks on for her.
Dude, I miss those days, man.
She's only 3, dude.
Yeah, I miss the days of having a
man.
3-year-old. You know, I'll never get those days back again, dude. And
No.
so So Sithy, man, when you go back and you think about it, cherish these moments, man, because you never know what's going to happen in the future.
No.
As far as just health and family dynamics and things like that, you never know.
It's nothing like having a little girl. I mean, I have 2 boys, and it's nothing like having a girl.
I've
you're a dad.
I've had 2 little girls. One is now 12 years old in 7th grade. The other one is now a college graduate, now going to be working for Case at 12 beginning in January.
Yeah.
So it's exciting, man. I love being a girl dad.
Yeah.
It changes your perspective on things.
Yeah. I've met 2 of your kids.
Yeah, Justin and Ava.
And Ava. I like Ava because she's feisty.
Yeah.
I've never met Gabby before.
You know what? We need to bring Gabby in here to do a pop culture segment. She watches the show. She watches the show.
I know.
Speaking of watching the show, Joe, I did the half marathon yesterday.
Yeah.
The Rock and Roll Half Marathon, the last of the Rock and Roll Half Marathon. R.I.P. San Antonio Half Marathon. We have we'll get to the super chat in 1 second.
We will.
But last night I did the half marathon, and if you want to show some photos on my screen here. This is me and my girlfriend Francesca after the race. That's her son Julian. After the race, it was his first half marathon. He did very good. That was us as we were getting going, and that was me at the halfway point. That is not gray hair. That is droplets of water and sweat and combining. Right?
It was nasty, dude. It was like misty.
It was 49 degrees, misty, and a wet road.
Soupy weather.
And this is my 4th half marathon. This is the first time I've ever done one in the rain. And I will tell you this much: it was hard to get traction on the ground. I did that 5K the other day where I did it in 34 minutes.
Yeah, it was like Thanksgiving or something.
It was a turkey trot, right?
Yeah.
So I was doing like 11-minute miles, and then at the end of the first mile, they said that my time was 12:20, and I was pissed. And then at the end of the second mile, I was at 24:50, and I'm there thinking to myself, why am I doing 12.5-minute miles? And it kept going like that, mile after mile after mile. And then I realized it was a couple of things. There were too many people there. 27,000 runners over the weekend.
Did you get the bottleneck at the end?
Dude, the bottleneck was the first 5 miles. And you couldn't move, and then it was wet, and you weren't running straight. You were trying to avoid puddles, avoid mud, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I would think that just the outright weather itself probably slowed me down a bit. I kept my pace. I did a 2-minute run, 30-second walk, that interval. I want to do that for an hour and then loosen it up down the road. But after an hour, I felt okay, so I just kept on going. 2 hours and 5 minutes in, I'm still doing my 2-minute run, 30-second walk pattern.
Yeah.
And then my right leg cramped. And again,
Le cramp.
I turned into LeBron James. I turned into Kawhi Leonard, and I just started cramping up big time.
Did they have to pick you up and take you off?
About the 11.5 mile mark, there's 1.5 miles to go. My legs told me because I wasn't tired. Like I wasn't out of breath, and
your legs.
My legs were like, no mas.
Women weaken the legs, Rock. Listen to Mick, Mike.
Not gonna say anything. But no, I did finish the 13.1, but I would say that the last mile and a half, I was kind of just running 50 yards, walking 50 yards, running 50 yards, walking 50 yards, because my legs were out of it. But the reason why I brought it up was because right around that point, around the 12-mile marker, some guy comes up to me and goes, "Dude, I like your podcast."
Oh gosh.
My girlfriend, I told her that at the finish line. I was like, dude, some guy about like a mile ago was like, "I like your podcast." And I'm there struggling, dude. Not when I was running, 12-minute miles. It was when I blew out a right tire.
Chariots of Fire.
He was like, "I like the podcast." Again, you can be part of the show by checking out our YouTube stream, and you can leave a comment, or it leads the show. We already have a $5 super chat, $4.99 from Tex-Mex Frank. What a good guy. Says, "Buenos dias, gentlemen. Spurs win and Cowboys game today. El Grito, he paid for it. He wants it. He gets it."
He gets it, man. Here you go.
presumir, a mis amigos les conté que en el amor.
Oddly enough, that was the sound I made when my right calf went out.
Oh man.
But I finished, Joe. Fourth one, dude. That's my fourth half marathon, all done after the age of 40. My daughter yesterday, though, Gabby, she raced the Honolulu Marathon, and she completed the 26.2 miles out there in Honolulu.
Wow.
So she was calling me during it. This wasn't one where you go off and you try to run it in 4 or 5 hours. I mean, though there were some people that do. It's more of a scenic marathon where people have much of the day to finish it. She got it. She did it all, 26.2 miles. She ran a good chunk of it. And she called me around mile 9 and was like, Dad, motivate me. Get me going, Dad. And I gave her some words of confidence there. Joe, you know what the sad part was? During my half marathon, my phone died with about a mile to go, and I had no more music. So not only was I struggling, I was down to nothing when it came to my phone. Then I crossed the finish line not knowing where anybody's at, you know.
Oh, my phone's dead.
So disappointed. I was on track, Joe. Just 40 more minutes. I was on track of getting my all-time best time. But now there's another half marathon coming up in March, the Alamo 13-1, which is right in front of the Alamo. Thinking about doing it, Joe. I think I'm going to try to lose 10 more pounds and get to do that one.
I was hearing that this is the last year they're going to have the rock and roll marathon because they're going to do something new now.
Yeah, there's going to be a local outfit that's going to run the wintertime marathon over here.
You know what I learned about the rock and roll marathon?
What's that?
I never knew that they had 3 Potbelly locations here. The sandwich place.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Dude, Potbelly is great.
It's great, dude. I love Potbellies because when I was in Washington, D.C., with my sister-in-law, I was, we're walking around and everything, saw the White House and all that. But as you get in the downtown district, as you start getting away from all that, right?
Yeah.
We're hungry because we had been walking around all day looking at all the sites. And we're like, man, what is this place? It smells pretty good in here, We're just walking around and it's like, let's pop into Potbellies and have a sandwich. Place is great, dude. I love
awesome.
Potbellies, man.
That's awesome. So, the track that they had over there for the half marathon was pretty interesting because it used to go through Brackenridge Park and weave through it, and it went through Brack for a little while.
Yeah.
But what the change was this year was that about 3 of the miles were inside Fort Sam Houston.
Oh, okay.
So one of the cool things about it is that it started downtown at City Hall, and it made its way through Broadway, through the Pearl, and it went to Brack Park. And when you're in Brack, Joe, they line it up with American flags, and they have all the officers and enlisted service members lining up the left and right-hand side. And there is, every 5 or 10 feet, a photograph of a soldier who had been killed in action.
Yeah, my cousin and my grandpa are buried there.
Really? So there was a photo each way, and all of the service members are there cheering you on, which was amazing. Mile 5, Joe, was awful. It is going from, if you know where Broadway is, right where Brackenridge Park, kind of like where Kitty Park used to be.
I remember that place.
Okay, so going from there,
Good Time Charlie's.
Yeah. Going from Good Time Charlie's to Fort Sam Houston is 1.5 miles straight up. It is uphill.
Yeah, it's an incline.
It's an incline like you wouldn't believe. And dude, even the best of runners, the best of those who train, had to walk a part of that because it was such a steep incline. And it wasn't like an incline for a half a mile where you kind of just get over it. It was 1.5 miles that way, Joe.
Straight up.
We got to Fort Sam Houston. It leveled out. It was fine. Miles 7, 8, 9, we're all downhill. So we're all getting, we're getting our strength back. But it was so cool going up and down Fort Sam Houston and seeing all the Army soldiers there cheering us on. And there's bands all over the place. The military bands were there. Yeah, like the military marching band. But then you had the military, the
color guard?
The color guard.
Yeah.
You also had them doing rock music, and they had all of it.
Nice.
So every mile or so, there was a different band. They handed out beer at mile 11. It was cool, dude. I'm glad that I did it.
How many miles was the whole route?
13.1.
Okay, mile 11, you're getting a little refreshment there to get you some motivation. You got 2 to go.
Yeah, it's supposed to I don't know. There's something about beer that's supposed to heal your body a little bit from the dehydration. I had those energy gels in my pocket, so I was taking those. That worked out pretty well. I'm just disappointed that the last 2 miles, I wasn't tired. Like I wasn't hyperventilating.
It's just your legs.
My legs just went, like a busted can of biscuits just went. And I figure if I lose 10 or 15 more pounds, that won't happen.
Too bad your phone broke. You could have called Gabby and told her I need motivation. I'm falling apart.
Let's talk about the Spurs, man. Why not, man? Let's talk about the Spurs. Spurs got a victory last night against the New Orleans Pelicans, back at 500. So before this, we left on Thursday, the Spurs were above 500. They fell below 500 because there was no Wemby for a couple of games. Wemby comes back yesterday. Spurs win dramatic fashion because, again, the Spurs had to learn how to play with each other again. Get the victory, get back to 500, right? There was a meltdown on Spurs Twitter over the weekend, and normally I love being part of this, right? I love being the one that stirs the pot when it comes to all this, okay? Sometimes I get off to it. I'll admit it. But I was like, why is everybody freaking out about the Spurs losing 2 games when Wemby wasn't there? They lost to Sacramento. They lost to Chicago.
Not a good team. And the thing is, when Wemby's not there, there's just a bunch of guys.
We saw what this team was before
Wemby.
Bunch of guys,
it
was a bunch of guys. It was a 22-win team.
Yeah.
Right? We know what this team looks like without Wemby. So why are we all getting pissed off about how the Spurs are doing when there's no Wemby there? Well, this player didn't do this and this player didn't do that.
The whole team.
And this rotation and Mitch putting in Sochan starting at center and all that stuff. And I'm there going, okay, I like having a good discourse when it comes to Spurs talk.
Yeah.
And I like being part of the ones leading the charge on one way or the other. I was freaking out going, what are you guys talking about? You do not learn anything about this team if Wemby's not on the court. Because it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, it's about Wemby and Castle. That's all this team is about. Is
I'd have to say Vassell too.
See, he's on the bench, though. He's getting starter minutes, but he's on the bench. But at the end of the day, we know the long-term solution to the Spurs, right?
Mm-hmm.
We talk about who are the untouchables of this team. Remember, before the season started, we said the untouchable was who?
Wemby.
Right? Would you now say that Stephon Castle is now untouchable number 2?
I think he might be, but, when we're having the discussion in the Spurs chat, with Matt Lerma afterwards, when they had lost, I was kind of saying, this team, and Matt Lerma had said the same thing a while back too. In about another season or two, this roster is going to look completely different.
Right.
And we're trying to explain that to Spurs fan because they're all, well, they need to change this and and they really believe that the Spurs have the talent to compete, with these other teams. And I'm like, no, they don't, man. It's like, it's Wemby, you got Castle, maybe Vassell, and a bunch of guys.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. I said, the one thing that a lot of these other teams in the West have in common is that they have more than one superstar on their team. Spurs got one.
We have 1.5.
Yeah, one and a half.
We have a blossoming one.
We don't know what he's going to,
Well, let's look
what he's going to do. The ceiling side for Castle, no doubt.
Well, let's look at Stephon Castle last night. Stephon Castle played 34 minutes. For those of you who think that Stephon Castle is going to be the one that takes a back seat for Sochan to start, hate to break it to you, but you're not going to go to the bench if you've been playing 34 minutes. Last night, 34 minutes, 8 of 15 shooting, 2 of 5 from 3, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, had a steal, a career high 22 points for Stephon Castle. Stephon Castle, his points per game average has increased to 12.1. He has vaulted into number 2 in the NBA among all rookies in scoring.
Kid can play
12.1 points per game, and he can play defense.
He can play defense, and he's a bucket getter, man.
And he knows his role.
Yeah, he plays it good. But you know what? What did Jeremy Sochan do?
Okay, well, Sochan was 2 of 6.
And we got to put Lerma on there.
Played 23 minutes last night. 2 of 6. Missed all 2 3-point attempts. His 3-pointers are now down to 21%. 21%.
I'm still here, Guapo.
Now, here's the thing. He did have an excellent plus-minus. So when he was out there, the Spurs were doing pretty well. He had 5. So he had 5. He had, 5 rebounds, 2 blocks, 2 steals. He had a dust-up with C.J. McCollum.
I saw
towards
that.
the end of the second quarter.
He's scrappy, dude.
And the weird thing about it is that, okay, so Sochan 7 points, 5 rebounds in 23 minutes. That whole dust-up was weird because I understand that Sochan got motivated. That 2-minute period there, all his stats came from that 2-minute period.
Yeah.
Because Sochan made a dunk, He made a layup, made a little bit of a bunny, and he seemed to kind of like get things. He made a layup, a dunk, knocked down a few free throws in that 2-minute stretch when he was pissed off, Joe.
Yeah.
Pissed off Jeremy Sochan can ball.
Yeah. But most of the time
But when he's not pissed off, it was funny because
when he's not, he's I.
He's I. So I was thinking to myself, oh my God, he's gonna like have a good game now. The dust-up with CJ McCollum was CJ McCollum did a hard foul. And it really, if you were to do a ranking of fouls, B10's the hardest foul of all time. 1 is ticky-tack.
Yeah.
It was like a 4, dude.
It
was a foul. It was a little bit chippy, but McCollum held him up. McCollum fouled him, held him up like, you're not gonna hit the ground. I got you.
Yeah, I know I'm gonna foul you hard.
I'm fouling you hard,
Yeah.
but like and McCollum's smaller, dude.
Yeah.
See, McCollum's a guard, right? Sochan's a forward. He's smaller. He fouled him on a shot attempt, held him up, which is what you want to do. You want to send him to the line.
You don't want them to hurt themselves.
And he held him up. Sochan took so much offense to this, and I understood, like, Sochan, I could see the instant reaction of Sochan being pissed off that he got fouled. Great. But then McCollum's like, dude, got you, dude. We're good.
Yeah. And
Sochan wouldn't let it go. He wouldn't let it go. And I was thinking to myself, what is he getting mad about? Now, he balled out for about 2 minutes there.
Yeah.
Where he was, all world, is getting steals and all that. He was all world for about 2 minutes. But I kept on thinking to myself, why is he mad? Why are you mad?
Maybe he just needs
motivation. It wasn't a hard foul. I mean, it was hardish by a smaller player.
It wasn't a flagrant, dude. Come on.
It wasn't anything, dude. This foul happens all the time. But
we got a super chat coming in, by the way, from the Drew Show.
Yeah.
Thanks for that, Drew. We appreciate your support.
So he says Mitch's best coaching last of the season was the last 2 games where Wemby didn't play, and this game. The future is now with Area 51 leading the way. Area 51 being Wemby and Castle. Castle being the 5 and Wemby being the 1. So Area 51.
Fernandez is in here. He's laughing at your comments. Sometimes I get off to it.
You know what? When I said that, I knew what I was saying, right? Drew Show with another super chat saying, the losers on the bench were showed their place. You score 30 in a 30-point loss. You just do stat padding. Stay in front of your man. RB pass, no turnovers. Okay, so here's the thing. Did you notice a couple of things about yesterday's game? First of all, Charles Bassey needs to have some sort of role in this team. Bassey balled out, right? 6 of 12, knocked down 4 free throws, had 16 points. When there was no energy, Bassey was there for you, right? But I brought up this question, Joe, and I want Fernandez, who's a big fan of the Spurs, obviously. He travels. He went to that game in Sacramento. He goes to the
Vegas,
Clippers,
everywhere.
Vegas, all that stuff. I had a very simple question to ask. For those of you who believe that Sochan belongs in the starting lineup, who do you take out? Because I don't see who they take out. It ain't going to be Wemby. Wemby's a superstar. It ain't going to be Chris Paul because Chris Paul's the starting point guard.
Yeah.
Barnes. Everyone's dude,
Barnes
our good friend, Matt Laramo, I'm still with you, Sochan, was like, well, it has to be Barnes. Well, why?
I'm still here, Guapo.
Barnes yesterday, 16 points. How's this for efficient? 16 points on 6 shots, Joe. 3 of 5 from 3, knocked down 5 of 6 free throws. Was player of the week for the
Western
Conference a couple of weeks ago. Also got the best plus minus of plus 20. Why would you get rid of Barnes?
He helps your team, when he's out there.
He's a professional. He's consistent. I will say this, though. It is obvious because he's younger that Sochan has a more dynamic play, more athletic play.
Yeah.
Right? But at the end of the day, that's great. But at the end of the day, it's about consistency.
Yeah.
And Barnes is that musical metronome, though.
Just keep on
Just
going.
keep on keeping on. You know what you're gonna get. Like his bad games. He had one bad game a couple of weeks ago, last week. That was like the only really bad game he's had this year. But for the most part, he's doing his thing.
Yeah.
By the way, Harrison Barnes, a good 3-point shooter, shooting 36% from 3. If you're 36 or greater, you're good.
But he hasn't seen a lot of minutes.
If you're 40% or greater, You're like amazing, right?
Yeah.
What would you say? Because I know you haven't looked at the stat.
Mm-hmm.
What is he shooting from 3 this year? Harrison Barnes.
Harrison Barnes.
So if 32 is the range of Wemby, which is like, all right, 36 being good, 40 being great.
Okay.
What is Harrison Barnes shooting from 3?
I'd say 38.
43.
Oh, even better. No, he probably doesn't take a lot. That's what I meant to say. He doesn't probably take a lot of threes.
I mean, volume enough. I mean, he shot 5 yesterday. He
It's
knocked
not
down
bad.
3 of 5.
He's not taking up 11 or 12.
No,
a
he's
game.
shooting 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you take out a 43% 3-point shooter from the team? Dude, that's what Harrison Barnes is.
He's not a
Spread
Sochan.
the floor. So at
Yeah.
the 21.1%.
But how many threes does he take a game?
He's dropped it down to 2.
Okay.
It was 4 or 5 before.
Yeah.
He's dropped it down to 2. So if we can't take him out, and we know that Champagne's shooting 36% from 3, and Champagne is a good defender, not a great one. Sohan's a great defender. So would you rather have, Joe, a good defender who shoots 36% from 3,
Yeah.
a good defender who shoots 43% from 3, because Barnes ain't no scrub from defense,
Yeah.
or would you rather have a great defender, a borderline great defender, who shoots 21% from 3?
Nah, dude. That's bench player, man.
And that's it, Joe.
That's a bench player, bro.
And it's funny because I think more Spurs fans, this was not designed to be a bag on Sochan Day. Sochan has a time and place, but you know what the time and place is? Second quarter.
2 seasons from now,
Third
what do you
quarter?
think his name's going to be? Gone. And that's one thing I was telling Spurs fans.
I
we were
hate to
getting
say
into
that.
it, man.
I don't want it to be so.
But I mean, at the end of the day, if you need to go ahead and get rid of him, right, to make room for a better player, maybe get another superstar to pair along with Wemby.
Right.
How many of these guys you think are going to be part of the roster?
Castle.
The rest of them?
Gone.
What's his name? Gone. They're gone.
And if we look at that lineup again, we could do the exact same exercise with Devin Vassell. He ain't gonna go past Barnes.
No.
He ain't gonna go past Wemby. He ain't gonna go past CP3. Castle, okay. Who's a better player, Castle or Vassell?
Oh man.
Okay.
Who has a higher ceiling? I think we
That
should ask.
is it.
We should ask that.
Okay, let me ask you this, because Castle's how old? 19. If you're getting if you are getting equal production from a Stephon Castle that you do from a Devin Vassell, and Vassell's been in the league for 6 years, I'm sorry, but you bring Castle into the mix. 34 minutes yesterday.
Vassell's a good role player. Like, he's a good player. He's a good piece.
Yeah.
But Stephon Castle, I think he just has a higher ceiling, man. I'm not throwing shade. I'm just stating facts, dude.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, what'd you think about Zach Collins over the weekend, throwing the middle
Dude,
finger at
he
the
needs to throw himself the middle damn finger. Get this meat off the court, dude. He's booty crumbs for a reason, dude. His stat line over the last couple games, he's just stinking up the joint. He's taking up space out there, dude. Get him out of here, man.
Drew Show coming out with a super chat. 247 saying role players like Sochan need to be shown the grito.
No.
He paid for it.
There we go, man. I mean, everybody likes his grito, dude.
Por presumir a mis amigos les conté.
Thank you for the support, Drew, man, as always. Couple things about what happened over the weekend. And if you could show my screen there, Joe.
Sure.
And I don't know if we can hear any of this. Oh, we can hear it. Let's play this for those of you who haven't seen. Chris Paul III, Spurs starting point guard, who we've all hated for the better part of 2 decades. But now as a Spur has become beloved, right? He passed, was it Jason Kidd, to move into second all-time in assists?
Yeah.
What a remarkable career. He's going to be a Hall of Famer when it's all said and done. But CP3 is not only known as being an all-time great point guard, he's also known as being a really good teammate, but also kind of a pain in the ass, right? The Spurs surprised him. Head coach Mitch Johnson and the team surprised him with a gift, which was it's a collage of photos of all the different teams he's played for and all the different players that he's mentored along the way. Joe, I'd like to play some of this to let people know exactly what was going on here as they present this award to CP3 in the locker room after the Spurs got the victory, and the reaction from the team, courtesy of the San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah, Chris, this is every teammate you have assisted on in your career. We have all watched and admired you in this long journey. And we've all been privileged this year to experience it up close. It's been a hell of a journey. We are very, very privileged to be a part of it. And in typical CP fashion, after he passes Magic and J-Kid and in all the milestones and accomplishments he's had, this is at the top as the number 2 assist guy, and he got it with a win.
Man, I can't say nothing but thank you, man. Seriously, man. I know I'm hard to deal with a lot of times. And, I swear, man, I'm so grateful. You know what I mean? To be away from my family, y'all became my family. And so I know I'm a lot to deal with on the court, man, but I just love the hoop. And I hope that y'all get this opportunity to play as long as I have, man. So thank y'all so much. Man. Bring it in. Yeah, bring it in. Bring it in, man.
And here comes Wemby. That's beautiful, man.
Spurs on 3. 1, 2, 3, Spurs!
That's our team, dude. That's our team. And, you know, as much flack as I get, Joe, for saying the word punt, at the end of the day, the next day, you and I were talking about how the Spurs need to have a mentor out there, and that the punt was on the ability to get a superstar. But we got the aging superstar in Chris Paul. Chris Paul, by the way, now second all-time in NBA assists for a career. 12,099 for his career. Only John Stockton has more.
I'll be honest right now, you know, with Chris Paul, you know, Spurs fans, they were like divided there. Some were happy, some were not happy. But who would have thought that bringing him in here, he would have had the impact that he's had thus far early on in the season right now on the team, you know, and on the players.
Right. So I remember going back to that the day after the announcement was made, right?
Yeah.
And you and I were talking about, you know what, maybe Sochan does need Barnes. Maybe Castle does need CP3. And it was a punt in the sense that there was no superstar coming in. There was no Lauri Markkanen. There was no Trae Young to come in.
Yeah.
But we saw what this was about. And this was about setting the foundation of professionalism within the team.
It was.
And who better than to get a Chris Paul to do that?
And not only Chris Paul, but bringing Barnes in there in the fray as well, I think helped. Because the one thing that you didn't want to happen is for the Spurs to have another 10, 12, whatever, 15, 20 win season, you know, because that teaches you one thing, how to lose. You need to be taught how to win.
We'll get to that super chat in one second, but give me 1 second on that one, on that thought. So if you could hold that one off. Wanted to get into also, and thank you to the San Antonio Spurs and also the retweet from Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5 for that moment of the Spurs honoring CP3 for his incredible achievement of being second all-time in assists. John Stockton is number 1 all-time. He ain't going to catch John Stockton.
No,
he didn't play like 5 or 6 more years to catch
15,000 assists. I'm like, come on, dude. There's no way.
So the beautiful thing also of yesterday, and if you didn't see this, Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs
let's share that.
Posted this as well. I want to play a little bit of this as well.
Go ahead.
This is in a second, but let me set this up. DeJounte Murray was his return back to San Antonio. He had been back before. You know, we sent him off to Atlanta. He's now with the Pelicans. And he was talking about head coach Mitch Johnson of the Spurs and how proud he is that Mitch Johnson is the interim head coach, and says that, you know, he's been a big part of DeJounte Murray's life. One of the things, Joe, that we talk about when it comes to coaching is that we know the figureheads, right? We know the Pops and the Spoelstras and the Phil Jacksons and the Budenholzers and the Will Hardys. We know the head coaches, the Ime Udokas, right?
Yeah.
But the assistant coaches play such a pivotal role in a lot of what's going on. I know in the past, Keldon Johnson's talked really highly of Becky Hammon. I know a lot have talked really well about Will Hardy and Ime. But to hear what DeJounte Murray had to say about interim head coach Mitch Johnson was heartwarming. And to hear that they actually have a history that goes even before the time of the Spurs. This is what DeJounte Murray had to say after last night's game, courtesy of Ken's 5.
I mean, I'm happy for him. I try to, especially tonight. I mean, when I'm not playing, I could be in fan mode, just watching them, shooting them texts here and there, calling them. But, even tonight is just to know how far, he came first and then obviously us. But just to see him, I'm not surprised, and everybody around, the Spurs organization would tell you they're not surprised. His knowledge is one of the best. He was a point guard, so he understands the game at a really high level. He's willing to learn, willing to put the work in. He worked and worked and worked. And like I said, I'm not surprised. He's only going to continue to go upwards from here, and I could just see the guys respect him and love him, even when I was here, but even from afar now, just knowing the great things I hear, which, like I said, I'm not surprised. He's a high character guy and he lights up any room he goes in, so I just hope he continue to take it all in and continue to do what got him where he's at. He means the world to me, the world to me. A lot of people don't understand. I try to keep, my story, my life, away from the internet, the social media, however you want to put it, as much as I can, just so I can heal from it. And, there's a time and a place for things. But, that guy, I owe him just so much, because I was in a tough place in my life around 15 when I was trying to change my life. And, he came and got me, and just everything from the knowledge, to teaching discipline, right from wrong, and building the AAU team for me. He was behind all of that. Just really getting my life on track, like I said, I was in a tough time, and he just, came, and the rest is history. So, he means the world to me. The best piece of advice, just be a great person. Because we never talked about going to the NBA. I think for me, it was getting me out of the streets and, trying to do the right things and just seeing where that would take me. It was never about, you're going to make millions of dollars and be this guy in the NBA. It was step by step, let's get on track with school, get out of the streets, get on track with school. And then, you love basketball, but there's a way we could do it where you work hard and you're just around, positive people. And like I said, he's the guy. I'm happy for him. I love him, and I wish him nothing but success.
Joe, I mean, think about what he said there, because it goes beyond the X's and O's of basketball.
Yeah, it does, really.
It's about life. He's saying, I knew Mitch Johnson, this is what DeJounte Murray is saying, when I was in high school. Talking about everything from AAU to how to get out of the streets. Looked it back up. Where's DeJounte Murray from? He's from Seattle, right? Where's Mitch Johnson from? He's from Seattle.
Have you seen pictures of them together?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, they showed a picture of them when they were younger, and both of them were together there on the court. I don't know if Mitch Johnson was coaching or what he was doing, but they showed a picture of him and DeJounte wearing the same kind of colors. They're playing on the same team, involved with the same team.
And for DeJounte, I mean, he could have just said a few words.
Yeah.
But for him to go off for 3 minutes about saying he means the world to me.
It's like a brother.
I love him. I'm so happy for him. I'm so proud of him.
Yeah.
Doesn't that make you feel more comfortable as a Spurs fan, Joe, of saying we got our guy?
I think so, man. That's what a lot of Spurs fans have been saying too. Well, I don't like Mitch Johnson. And you know what? They say that when the team's losing. And I said as much in the Spurs chat after the game, after a loss. I'm like, y'all want to blame the coach, but it's not the coach's fault and the coaching staff. You don't think that they scheme and they work with the team to put them out there to have them ready? I said it's up to the players when they're out there on the court to execute the game plan. Sometimes they don't always do that.
Mitch Johnson is getting the most out of this team than anybody could have gotten.
Yeah, I like his style of leadership.
I like his style of leadership. Dude, even when he gave the presentation to Chris Paul III.
Yeah.
how authoritative he was in speaking.
He's a leader, man.
Yeah, he wasn't there going, "Oh, well, we just want to say thank you, Chris Paul." No, he was forceful in his delivery, leader of men type of thing. And it's not disrespectful in my eyes to say that I think that Mitch Johnson's getting more out of this team than Pop would have. But I think Mitch Johnson, but no. There's a reason why I say it's not disrespectful.
Yeah.
I don't think people could have gotten more than Mitch Johnson anyway. I don't think Ime Udoka could have gotten this much from this team. I don't think that Will Hardy could have gotten. I don't think Budenholzer could have. I think Mitch Johnson is probably at the right place at the right time with the right players around him.
Yeah.
And just because you are a good coach or a great coach or an experienced coach doesn't mean that you're the right person for the right fit. Sometimes it's all about the stars aligning, right? I this is kind of a personal thing, right? I'm going through a divorce, so I've been separated for a year and a half.
Yeah,
it's gonna be finalized in the next few weeks or so. But I started dating a girl, it's girlfriend, and one of the things that we were talking about the other day was she and I would never have dated each other 5 years ago.
Yeah,
we never would have dated each other 10 years
different
ago,
places,
or 20 years ago, because of a variety of different reasons or factors, right? And it's it's about timing, right? Yeah. Mitch Johnson being with the Spurs right now is the right timing.
Yeah.
And he was not the best coach for this team last year. Had Pop developed this team for 2 more years, he probably wouldn't have been the right coach for that team 2 years from now.
Yeah.
But where he is right now, and understand that he's a commodity right now. He's a hot commodity. The NBA is watching. They're looking at him. And that's why I posted on Twitter yesterday that I'm Spurs glass half full. People are asking me to kind of go like ape crap on things. But no, I'm happy with 12-12. They're like, what, we played a crappy Pelicans team. But we won. Last year we would have lost that game, Joe.
Yeah, we would have.
Because the Spurs didn't just hold on to the lead. We lost that lead in the fourth quarter, got down 2 or 3 points. Castle makes a bucket. CP3 finds an open guy. We come back. Wemby knocks down a dead-eye three-pointer from 30 feet out, and we win the game. That didn't happen last year.
Yeah,
let's not complain when we win sometimes.
And it was against a bad team. Look, they won against the Pelicans, but you know what? At the end of the day, a win is a win, man, because there's going to be some days the Spurs are going to be teams that are a lot better than them. It happens.
So 2 comments real fast. One's from Jason, one's from Spernandez. We have a $1.99 super chat. Thank you so much, Jason, for the support. Who's worse, Jeremy Sochan or Bronny James?
Come on, man. Bronny, bro. It's Bronny.
Bronny is, but Jason likes to go deeper than me by saying that Sochan is a G League player. It's funny because if you saw that whole dust up that we had, I want to go to Fernandez in right now. If you go to that dust up with CJ McCollum's not a dirty player. McCollum it was a foul. It was a hard foul. It wasn't even that hard of a foul. It was a low-level hard foul where you're being held up by the player going, "I got you, man. Respect you."
It's like he let him fall.
I'm not hurting you. He's a smaller player, dude. McCollum's what, 6'3", 6'4"?
On a good day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know why Sochan got so pissed. It wasn't a shot to the head. It wasn't a shot to the balls. It was straight up to the chest. I don't know what the hell was going on. But we have a post here from Fernandez. Thank you for filling in Friday when I was sick.
Yeah.
Says, I have no issue with Sochan being the 6th man. To be honest, I think he'll thrive in that role. What does the bench need, Joe? The bench needs energy guys. And who better of an energy guy than Jeremy Sochan? Who better of an energy guy than Devin Vassell? Who better of an energy guy than Keldon Johnson?
The thing is, at the end of the day, your team needs to have balance, right? You need to know, okay, these are my starting 5. They're going to give us a good chance to come out of the gate and give me a good possibility of winning, right?
Right.
But when they rest, you need to have that second unit that can come in, bring the energy, and either sustain a lead or chip away at one, right? If you're behind, they can chip away and they start bringing you in. So then when your starters come back, they can also help too. Now, instead of being 10 points behind, maybe you're 5.
That's right. Extend the lead or get us back in it. Notice yesterday, down the stretch, last 5 or 6 minutes of the game, Castle was in the game, but Sochan wasn't. Castle was there making big shots. Because you can't be 4-on-5 offensively, dude. You know, when it's all said and done. And I don't know what to make out of it, man, because, dude, if Sochan can develop an offensive game, he'd be very, very, very good. We talk about that with Kawhi Leonard. Remember when Kawhi Leonard came into the league? He was elite defender, okay, below average offensively. He developed a shot, got better, and he became, when he was healthy, Joe, a top 5 player in the NBA. Kawhi Leonard most definitely was. You could argue that he was the best two-way player in the NBA for a couple of seasons. He's got to develop an offensive game, so I need to develop something offensively.
Look, he's back.
All right, Matt, wait, before I read this, can we show the meme?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to bring it up right now. Let me go ahead and get that ready.
I'm still here, El Waffle. Matt Lerma says, in 2 seasons, we also talking about how you don't like Sochan. I'm going to come back to this and say, Joe, you said his name was going to be gone.
Gone.
Now, I didn't say gone because I like the energy. I like the drive. I like the fire. But I like it in 3 or 4 minute bursts. I would like for Jeremy Sochan to play 20 to 24 minutes and just have him be the energy guy and pump people up and psych everybody up and all that stuff, right? What I don't want him is shooting 21% from 3.
Oh, look at that. They're saying we should up the price in the Grito. Grito's annoying. We need to go and up the price to $5.99. Nothing lower.
Hey, Joe.
Yeah.
Remember when I was told that Sochan's 3-point shot was going to get better because, well, he was just a rookie?
I remember that.
Yeah, he's at 21% for the year. 21% for the year.
You know what? That deserves.
I'm still here.
This is the best meme I've ever seen. Dude.
That is, dude. And why he looks so much like Jonah Hill, I don't know. That is so great, dude.
Look, man, we got a super chat incoming from Elias here. Let's go ahead and show that.
Says, pura pinche Spurs y Cowboys. Area 51, rush hour. That's what I'm going.
There you go.
Very nice. Dude, thank you so much, Seth, man. And happy birthday to your daughter as well. 3 is a wonderful age, baby. Wonderful age. Let's give some love to MCS General Contracting. Let's switch over. Start talking about the college football playoff, the controversy behind that. Then we'll preview the Cowboys game.
MCS General Contracting, more than 30 years of combined experience in concrete placement. They are the best in the business. Honest pricing, high quality work. They get going on house foundations, driveways, concrete patio decks. If you want to extend the deck, extend the driveway. If you're a business and you need to put together a slab, a parking lot, or other concrete placement services or sidewalks, reach out to MCS General Contracting at 210-774-9155. They're confident in their skills, so give Chris Leha over at MCS General Contracting a call at 210-774-9155. And thank you for being a sponsor of this show.
That's right. They got that Diamond Heart Concrete over there. And you know what? We might need to have like a party or something like that at my house at some point to show off their stuff. What they've done, the sidewalk, the patio, and all that stuff. They did a very, very good job. And here's the thing: we talk about how that I'm a customer of theirs.
Yeah.
I mean, no lie. They did a really good job out there. So for your concrete placement needs, there's the number 210-774-9155. If you need help with a patio, a slab, a pool, pickleball court, basketball court, tennis court,
parking lot,
ADA compliant stuff, those ramps that you need for a business or whatnot. Fantastic. Joe, I'm still laughing about the fact that somebody flagged me down yesterday at the Rock and Roll Half Marathon and was like,
I like your podcast.
Like your podcast. Do you know what I didn't like over the weekend?
What was that?
Was the Texas Longhorns losing to Oklahoma again.
In overtime.
They got our number, baby. They got our number.
But both teams came and they played great. It was another great game here. If you're a UT fan, you're hoping that UT was going to beat Georgia. Georgia just proved right now. I'm a UT fan. They just proved by beating them again, we're better than you. We know how to win.
Okay. It was a tale of two halves, right? So Georgia won 22-19 in overtime. Georgia was dominated in the first half. UT dominated the first half, ran the ball up and down the field, passed the ball up and down the field, but couldn't score. Texas was up 6-3 at halftime, but it was because of all the penalties that they had, right? They had 8 penalties for 80 yards in the first half. 80 yards of penalties for UT in the first half killed them. And everyone's like, well, it's because of ticky-tack call. I don't care. You don't do that. And you're playing a game in Georgia because the SEC championship game is always played in Atlanta. And Texas going up 6-3. And the big debate at halftime, the commentators were all, well, Texas should be excited because, they can show that they could dominate this team. And the other commentators like, Georgia's being dominated, only down 3. And what happens first drive? Touchdown. And all of a sudden, Texas is down.
Yeah, they're
and
making
Bevo's
fun
upset
of you because you said Oklahoma instead of Georgia.
Oh, sorry. My bad. I was in a groove, dude. I knew it was Georgia.
Yeah.
Right. This is not a Red River rivalry. I say things wrong sometimes, so my bad. But Georgia goes off. Georgia goes off to win the game 22-19. Texas 11-2 on the season. Those 2 losses to the same team, Georgia. And what did I say after Georgia beat Georgia Tech the other day, Joe? I said they're gonna lose to them 3 times.
It's already twice.
Now, our good friend John Dyer was talking about the college football playoff bracket, and he was saying, you know what? Despite the loss, Texas drew a pretty good bracket.
Favorable matchup.
Okay, so Texas is going to host. Texas is going to host the first round of the playoffs. So it's a 12-team playoff.
Home field advantage.
First time ever. And for those of you all who are pissed off that there's not 16 teams, shut the hell up. Okay? And for Alabama to go out there and say, we deserve to be there. You can't say that we're not one of the top 12 teams. I don't care.
Who did they lose to?
They lost to Vanderbilt. They lost to Oklahoma. And they lost to another team.
No. Like they've been losing, man. The thing is that Alabama's not much of what they.
Oklahoma kicked Alabama's ass. Okay? So the idea that it's going to be the SEC or nothing pisses me off. And is Alabama a top 12 team? Sure, why not? But there's going to be some years where one conference is better than the others and other years where it's not. It's not the SEC Invitational.
No.
Now, there is such a thing as East Coast bias when it comes to the media. That's why West Coast teams don't get the respect that they deserve. So you look at it, there needs to be a balance between getting the best teams out there, having the conferences represented, and also having a balance in geographical stuff, because you don't want to have just a bunch of SEC schools playing each other, because then the rest of the country doesn't give a shit.
They don't.
How hard is it to understand that? It needs to be a little bit of both, a little bit of geographical stuff going on and getting the best teams.
At the end of the day, what brings in the ratings?
Right.
What brings in the ratings? Y'all want to see these lesser teams go at it, or do you want to see big names?
Right.
I mean, you're going to want to see big matchups.
Keep Taco Tuesday on hold. Stand by for a second. We're going to get to that one. But look at this draw. 5-12 matchup. Clemson against Texas. Clemson went off and beat SMU. Vaulted from, I think, 17 to 12 to get the last spot in, Joe. So if Texas wins this game, and they should, Texas is favored by 11 points. This is a game not this weekend, but the following weekend on December 21st on TNT. Texas then plays the Big 12 champion Arizona State. And Joe, Texas is going to whoop Arizona State's ass and go to the Final Four.
No lies detected, dude.
This is a great draw for them, right?
It is.
Other bracket, 8-9 matchup. Tennessee going into Ohio State.
Oh, come on.
Ohio State favored by 7.5 points. A game on ABC on the 21st. Winner takes on Oregon. Oregon, who's undefeated, number 1 in the country, will more than likely play Ohio State. And what would be considered to be the Rose Bowl, the Texas Arizona State game, provided that Texas does win the game, would be the Peach Bowl presented by Chick-fil-A.
I do like Tennessee over Ohio, dude.
Tennessee has proven that they can beat good teams.
They have.
But they beat them at home. See if they could go to the Ohio State's
home field
and do it. That would be difficult. SMU loses, but they lost a very, very dramatic game
34-31.
Clemson.
Yeah.
So it's not like they got their asses handed to them, right? But the Ponies do make it into the playoff, and they get Penn State. Penn State, who's been in the top 3 all year long.
That's not a good matchup.
That's not a good matchup at all. But I like the fact that SMU's in there. It's geographic. It's Dallas.
Yeah, man. But they're more than likely what's going to happen here. They're going to get absolutely bounced, dude. They're going to get blown out the water.
Well, Penn State would then the winner plays Boise State.
Who? No, they've been pretty good.
In the Fiesta Bowl, that would be on New Year's Eve. Indiana going on the road to take on Notre Dame. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Notre Dame's in Indiana also. So you got the Bloomington against where's Indiana again? Where's Notre Dame in? Why do I not know what city Notre Dame's in?
It's up in the eastern part of the United States.
Right. No, but what city is Notre Dame in?
I'll find out for you right now.
And it's going to be a name that I should know. I cannot believe we're stopping the show for this.
South Bend, Indiana.
South Bend. Oh, how do I not know that? South Bend, Indiana. So you got 2 Indiana teams going at it. The winner takes on Georgia. Joe, dare I say a national championship game of Texas against Georgia? Can you see it, Joe?
Yeah.
They didn't put them in the same bracket for a reason. I'm a big believer in that.
Yeah, everybody's already helping. They were saying South Bend.
But Texas going at number 5 is legit, man. The Sugar Bowl would be Georgia against Notre Dame or Indiana. Dude, I mean, that's SEC country. There's Sugar Bowls in New Orleans. Everyone's going to come by over there.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at it, Joe. I'm not mad at SMU getting in. I'm not mad at Alabama getting out. Alabama got 3 losses, dude. You got 3 losses. I don't care who you lost. You got 3 losses. When the students at Vanderbilt took down the goalposts, went down that big old street where all the bars are at in Nashville, and threw the crossbar into the water, that was symbolic of Alabama. You ain't in the playoffs. Playoff hopes chunked into the water, dude. That's what that was. Joe, but I will tell you this much, Joe. I haven't been this excited about an Alamo Bowl matchup in forever, Joe. The number 1 and 2 picks in the NFL draft this year are going to be playing here at the Alamo Bowl. Can you imagine that, Joe?
Coach Prime
coming in. The Valero Alamo Bowl, which is going to be at the Alamo Dome, a 7:30 kickoff. That's going to be on what day is that? That's a Saturday, December 28th.
Yeah.
BYU, good school,
good matchup.
Coming up against Alabama. This is going to be a game not on ESPN, on ABC.
Yeah, man.
Coach Prime, Shadur Sanders.
Woo-wee. You might go see the game, dude. You know, the thing is, it's good for the city. You know, because you're going to have all this attention.
Travis Hunter.
Yeah, man. On the city of San Antonio. Good for the tourism.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like it, man.
I'm looking at NFL Tankathon right now. If you look at NFL Tankathon, if you do a mock draft, they believe that picks 1 and 3 would be players from the Colorado Buffaloes. So right now, the number 1 team right now, if the season was to end right now, the NFL would be the Las Vegas Raiders, taking Shadur Sanders out of Colorado.
No.
Cam Ward, formerly of UIW, star with Miami, going number 2 overall to the New York Giants. Poor dude. Travis Hunter going to the Patriots, number 3. And then I'm looking for the Cowboys. Number 12, Malachi Starks. If the Cowboys get Malachi Starks, it's not a bad deal. Could get him at number 12. Running back Ashton Genty, star running back of Boise State, would go top 10 according to Tankathon right now. They have Tyleik Williams, defensive lineman of Ohio State, going to the Texans at 25. My Saints, however, gain James Percy out of Tennessee. Make it happen. So Alamo Dome, Alamo Bowl, I'm pretty excited about. There's some good bowl matchups this year, dude. But it's all highlighted by the fact that we now have a 12-team playoff. We're now going to have a legit national champion. Like, you can't say, oh, well, if this team had made it into a playoff, this team, this, that, or the other. we now have a legit champion when it comes to it. Remember back in the day, there was like an AP and a coaches poll champion.
Oh,
That was like,
yeah, man.
that was back in the day. They never played each other, but now they
Never.
do.
That's good, man. And we do got the super chat to address here.
Very nice. From Taco Tuesday, $4.99. Thank you so much, sir. It says, I'm a big Sochan supporter, but Castle's an even better defender and better offensively. That's why he deserves to start over Sochan. You know what? I don't want to think that people are Sochan haters. I'm just a Sochan realist. We need him in bursts.
Yeah.
We need that energy in bursts. That energy in 32 minutes is inefficient, Joe. In the year of the Lord 2024, as Mike Taylor would say, the year of Mary, you cannot have a stretch four who doesn't stretch the floor. You cannot have a guy that shoots 21.1% from three. No more. This isn't the 1980s. So he doesn't stretch the floor. Is he good defensively? Yes. But last night's game, crunch time, where was he, Joe?
Nowhere.
He was on the bench.
Yeah.
Says a lot. Who was out there? Castle. Who was out there? Barnes.
When the Spurs were
Who was
losing,
out there? Champagne.
who was getting double digits?
I know, and there was a stretch there where Sochan was out there and the Spurs were balling. But like, let's look at it from a 30,000 foot angle. It's just not like that. I want to see him in bursts. I want to see the Spurs down by 6 points. And they bring him in to try to bring energy in.
And look, I'm not trying to blame it all on Sochan. It's his fault. But when he's getting his points and he's scoring 14 points, 12 points, whatever it might be, and he's going out there and he's trying to ball, and you got the rest of the team that's not matching or not living up to those expectations, you see them losing against lesser teams that they should beat sometimes.
We have a new guy, the militia guy, 1105.
The militia guy.
Okay, further down. Saying Bruce Bowen was not made in 3 seasons. Sochan is going to be outstanding. Well, let's talk about that. First of all, welcome, Joe, militia guy, to. Oh my God! Wait. Do we have a burner account of Matt Lerma? Is this Matt Lerma's burner account? Just kidding. Everyone, welcome the militia guy to the chat and all that stuff. Welcome. This is a place to enjoy Spurs talk and Cowboy talk and all that stuff. There was a big run that the Spurs were on, and Sochan was out there. Did he score any points? No. His points were scored at the end of the second quarter when CJ McCollum pissed him off.
Yeah. There we go. That's what I wanted to show.
I look at it this way. You know that defensively Sochan's going to be a very good player. But he brings up Bruce Bowen. Could you rely on Bruce Bowen to knock down a corner three, Joe? I mean, wasn't that money?
Bruce Bowen was always known for his three-point prowess. Now, Sochan doesn't have that three-point prowess.
But you can't compare the two because Bowen was also a guard.
Yeah, but I'm
2-3 kind of guy.
Yeah, but Bruce Bowen was one thing that he did very well. He was a role player, man. He was a role player, and he did his role, and he played it very well.
Do you think Sochan thinks he's a star?
I think he thinks he's a star, but at the end of the day, like Spernandez was saying, what's wrong with being a six-man? Manu did it very well for many years, and what happened?
Yeah.
Spurs were winning. They had that balance, from the starting five all the way to the bench players. The team was very well balanced. They went on to win championships, man.
Bowen would go and track down Kobe.
Yeah.
Just irritate Kobe. He would try to irritate McGrady. He would try to irritate
Ray Allen.
The stud twos. Sochan, can he guard the twos? Yes. But is he a two? No. And forgive me.
Yeah.
But I don't buy any of this positionless basketball nonsense. I understand that maybe it's not point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, center, but there's bigs and smalls.
Yeah.
Okay. Will you at least give me that, Joe, that they're bigs and smalls? Sochan going out there and defending the two is not a good thing because Sochan needs to go to his natural position, which is he's a big, right? And what do you need from a big, Joe? Ever since Dirk Nowitzki stepped foot on that NBA court, you need a big to stretch the floor and stretch the floor for Wemby. And shooting 28% from three for your career is not it, Joe. It's not it. And to think that he's going to be better because Joe, look at his shot, Joe. And everybody who's a Sochan fan, look at Jeremy Sochan's shot beyond 5 feet. Does that look like that's a shot form that's ever going to be reformed?
Just look at how he shoots his free throws, bro.
He shoots it like me at main event.
The little Papa shot.
So, I mean, I'm sorry, but you look at it, Joe. Can you have an NBA player who's really good defensively, but be a total liability offensively? Now, don't be wrong. Jeremy Sochan's an above-average slasher as far as cutting to the basket, getting layups, and getting dunks and stuff like that. CP3 found him cutting back door, got a dunk yesterday. He's very good at that, right? But if you took away dunks or layups at the rim, what do you got, Joe? You got a player who can't shoot for shit.
Yeah. And that's the thing with Sochan. Sochan can find his places and times to shoot, as far as make buckets. He's going to move well without the ball. Great in the open floor, transition.
Yeah.
Dishing him the ball, while you're on the fast break. Easy dunk, easy layup, That's great. But can you count on him in crunch time to knock down a consistent jumper? No.
That's right. Alex Noriega reaching out and saying Sochan's corner 3 air ball last night. Looked awful. No, but he's going to be great, Joe. He's going to be great. Here's the thing.
I'm still here.
He's going to be great. But, he's so electric. Do you know who he reminds me of, Joe? And I'm going to throw this out there, Joe, and I hope it's not disrespectful. As excited as I was about certain players like Lonnie Walker, because Lonnie Walker was so athletically talented.
Man, he had some spectacular missed dunks. How many points does that get you? None.
There are some games when Lonnie would go off.
You see the other team in the bench, and they're like, the steal shot. What happened?
Yeah.
Missed dunk.
Jonathan Simmons.
Where's he at?
So, and I look at Sochan, and Sochan is a much better defender than either of those players. But dude, if it ain't a dunk and it ain't a layup, he can't make it. He has no hook shot. He has no floater. He has no mid-range jumper. No three-point shot. If it ain't a layup and it ain't a dunk, it's got nothing.
You know what Lonnie's biggest problem was? It wasn't his athletic ability. The problem was, I think he would get into his own head too much, and unfortunately, he just wasn't very consistent.
It's just brutal, though, and you know what?
And what's Lonnie's name now in the NBA? Gone. Yeah.
You got to be able to shoot the ball, dude. Now, I mean, if Zach Collins could have a place in the NBA, I suppose Sochan can as well. But I mean, he plays Euro ball, dude. This is kind of what it's like, man. And I don't know what to say, Joe. He can't shoot. And the idea that suddenly he's going to develop a shot with that form, Joe,
no,
he shoots the ball like Charles Barkley hits a golf ball. There's an awful hitch to it. Joe, look at this shot chart, Joe. If you go on my page.
Yeah, I'll show it right now.
Here are all the shots that Jeremy Sochan has hit this year.
What did we say? Moving without the ball in the open court.
Look at all that green. He makes shots in there. How many shots were made outside of, say, 5 feet? I count 1, 2, I don't know, like 5. I mean, and it's so funny because his biggest fans are like, he needs to start. He is a star of this team. He's gonna be an all-star. How many people have we heard say that, Joe?
There's one right here.
There he is. I'm still here, El Waffle. How many all-stars have all this red, Joe?
But he's our best player, Mike. Look, man, I like Jeremy Sochan. I do, man.
Yeah.
But I think he's best served coming off the bench.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying, man.
So, Joe, here's Sochan's stats according to basketballreference.com. Okay. So, as a player, he is shooting 50% this season from the field, right? He has made 63 out of 126. Do you mind if I get out my calculator?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, 63 of 126. You might look at that and go, okay, well, that's 50%. That's not bad, right? Let's take away the dunks. 18 of 21. Layups, 34 of 57. Okay, so that means 63 shots made. You subtract the dunks. You subtract the layups. He has made this year, I know he's missed a lot of games. He's played 11 games. In 11 games that he has played for the Spurs this year, he has only made 11 shots that were not a dunk or a layup. Mathematically, he averages one made bucket per game. One made bucket per game outside of 1 foot.
Jeez, man.
And people get mad about stats, Joe. So therefore, if you're looking at it, Joe, anything outside of 1 foot, he is shooting 11 of 48, 22%.
Oh, God. Look at your militia guy. New guy coming in here, man. Look what he says. Why did Pop in the front office draft Sochan that high? If they didn't believe, they'd be able to fix him into a Bowen, Draymond Green type of player.
Well, it was a bad draft, Joe. I mean, there was nobody else that you could have picked at that point, when it comes to that was a 22 NBA draft, right?
Yeah.
So let's go through the 2022 NBA draft, right? This is basketballreference.com. This was the draft right here. Number 1 pick, Paolo Banchero. Makes sense, right? Chet Holmgren's a very good player at number 2. Jabari Smith at number 3. Jabari Smith at number 4. Averages 14 points per game. Jaden Ivey averaging 16 points per game. Shaedon Sharp, Ben Mathurin. Dyson Daniels has been a bust. Johnny Davis, after Sochan was a bust. Jang has been okay. I mean, kind of a bust. Jalen Williams is a really good player. So you look at it, Joe. How many players are better than Jeremy Sochan that were in the draft? It was a bad draft. It wasn't a very deep draft at all. Banchero's better. Chet Holmgren's better. Jabari Smith Jr. is better. You can make the argument that Keegan Murray's better. I don't know if I'd go Jaden Ivey. Jalen Williams is better. The Spurs probably got the 8th or 9th best player, number 9.
Yeah.
The Spurs had a lottery pick. It wasn't a whiff, because there's only like one legit player behind him that you look at and go, that guy is legitimately better, and that's Jalen Williams.
Yeah.
So, and Jalen Williams going to Oklahoma City at number 12. So it wasn't a bad pickup. It was just a bad draft.
Yeah, it was not very good.
It's like you go to like this year's draft. Right now, we talk about the fact that this was considered to be a weak draft this year, the 2024 draft. Points per game. Jared McCain of Duke, plays for Philadelphia. His minutes have come back down ever since the starters have come back from injury. 15.8 points per game. Stephon Castle at 12 points per game. Zachary Charcey at 11.5. Jalen Wells 11.5. Zach Edey at 11. Dalton Connect at 11. Alex Sarr at 10. Joe, there are only 7 players in the draft that average 10 points or more.
And look at that, man. We just picked up a new subscriber here. DJ Mike 210. Thanks for subscribing, man.
Very nice, man. Very cool, dude.
It's weird now, right? After we hit a certain number,
yeah.
Now all of a sudden we have this influx of new people coming in. And I like it, dude.
Yeah.
It makes the chat more lively. And the good thing is, because we built this community here, everybody likes to welcome the new people.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. Ishan, have you seen Sochan's shooting form compared to Bowen's? He has no resemblance of a fixable form. And Joe,
what did you say? Call it a broken shot?
I don't think it was a broken shot. It's a shattered shot. But you bring out the stats, Joe. I bring out because we talk about effective field goal shooting percentage and all that stuff, Joe. You take away the dunks and the layups, he averages 1 field goal made more than a foot out per game.
It's not very good, man.
In the year 2024, when there are stretch fours out there who can knock down threes, I mean, again, the one that started this trend for the most part was what? Dirk Nowitzki. You need to have a stretch 4. You need to have a stretch 4. What if your 4 doesn't stretch?
Yeah.
He ain't gonna stretch. I'm a big believer of this. If you can shoot in high school, you can shoot in college. If you can shoot in college, you can shoot in the G League. If you can shoot in the G League, you can shoot the pros. The certain things translate, right? If you can hit a curveball in high school, you can hit it in college, you can hit it in the pros. You can't suddenly just say, you know what we're going to do? I know you can't shoot for shit. You have no form.
We're going to play you at the point.
We're gonna play you at the point. We know you've never played point guard before, high school, college. You've never done it before. You've never been asked to do this, but we're gonna see how you do it. And some of these persons are like, yeah, it's kind of like Ben Simmons, but he actually cares about basketball. And then it's like, I know you haven't been able to shoot at any point in your life, but we're gonna make you a shooter while developing you as an NBA player, being guarded by the best defensive players in all of basketball in the world. And you're going to somehow develop a shot during all that?
No.
Nah. Nah. Now, there are certain players who have low percentages but know how to shoot. Look at Wemby and Castle, Area 51, right? Castle, his shots weren't going in, but he was playing out of position last year while he was playing at UConn. When you look at Wemby's shot, does it look broken? No, it looks like he takes ill-advised shots, but it doesn't look like a broken shot.
And look at what Sid says. Sochan's shot is so busted, they have math professors trying to figure out what angle he releases at.
I know.
Oh my God.
Matt Damon from Good Will Hunting. We need you in on that one.
Go to the board.
Go to the board. Monday Night Football tonight, Dallas Cowboys against the Cincinnati Bengals. I joked with you before the show, Joe. What is the over-under on number of yards that Joe Burrow throws for?
Oh, God, dude. He's probably going to have another huge game, like 400 yards passing, and is going to chalk it up to a loss, dude. That'd be sad.
Joe Burrow's last 5 games.
God, man.
Last 4 games, Joe. He's thrown for 309, 356, 428, and 251, right?
Yeah.
Touchdowns thrown last 4 games, 3, 3, 4, and 5. He's averaging 4 touchdowns per game last 4 games.
And they
For the
winning.
season, he has 30 touchdown passes and 5 interceptions. For the season, 68% accuracy. For the season, 3,300 yards. He's on track for over 5,000. He's having legitimately a top 20 or 30 quarterback season of all time.
Jeez,
And that team just doesn't win because defensively that team sucks. The Cooper Rush is probably going to blow up too. I want to see a 41-38 game.
Watch Cooper have like 300 yards and like 3 or 4 touchdowns. I'll be like, oh gosh. You know, this game tonight too is going to be interesting because it's that game that they're going to have it's going to be simulcasters going on at the same time.
Yeah.
On Disney Plus because everybody's going to be Simpson themed.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's something. If you want to have the kids watch with you or something, hey, you could put that on for them.
Bengals favored by 4.5 points. The over-under at 49.5. Let's go to the games. Jaguars and Titans played a game that most people fell asleep to. 10-6. What a great game that was there for the Jaguars to win, ruining their draft stock.
Oh, you know what happened with the Titans?
What's that?
Because they lost that game, they are now out of playoff contention. Like they were going to make it anyway.
The
dude.
Dolphins and Jets. Dolphins won 32-26 in overtime.
Oh, the Jets too, because of this loss, they're out of the playoffs.
There you go. Sam Darnold threw for 5 touchdown passes. That's where you prove that sometimes you can be a bust at one place, but it not be because of you. It's because that team that you were with sucks, and that's what the Jets are. Vikings, 11-2. Did you see that Justin Jefferson touchdown yesterday?
I did.
Did you see the defensive back struggling to guard him?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find that one.
You know what's funny to me, man? How the Falcons have just fallen off, dude. Like they were a decent team in the beginning, right? Like, hey, man, they're a scrappy team. They've been in really close games. They've just lost them. And now they just look like a bad team.
Okay, so everyone's making fun of the defender on this play. This is courtesy of Fox, by the way.
Oh, I saw that.
Look at the defender here.
Darnold in trouble. Sam Darnold keeps it alive.
Look at this defender here. Who's he diving at?
He's
look at this defender. He was so lost on the play. He had no idea where he was going. The other angle's amazing. And he's like, whoops. On the he's like 5 yards away from it.
Did he trip or what is he doing, man? That's like, what is that? Shaq in the Fool moment?
Yeah.
Gosh, man.
That's so funny. Let's go back. But that was amazing. Other games, the Saints won 14-11, ruining their draft stock. Idiots. But then again, you can't lose to the Giants, dude. This can't happen. Okay. I was excited about the Eagles game against the Panthers. Eagles won, go to 11-2. They keep winning. I was excited about this because Circa Sports had the biggest bet of the year on this game. Someone bet $3.1 million money line that the Eagles were going to win this game straight up.
Yeah.
The win. So here's if the Panthers had won, he loses $3.1 million. Eagles win, he wins $450,000. So it was only like a ninth of the money he put down was what he would have won. Panthers were winning at halftime. Or Panthers were up 10-7 right before halftime, though. Imagine watching that game, Joe, knowing they have $3.1 million on the line and seeing the Panthers are up 10-7 at some point in the game. Brutal. But again, the Eagles went on to win. Steelers beat the Browns. All the Steelers do is win, dude. All they do is win.
They keep on winning, man. That's all they do. And you know what? If they have to go ahead and, let's say, somehow come up against the Ravens again.
Yeah.
I pick the Steelers, dude.
Jameis Winston with 2 more interceptions because that's what he does, man. The ball doesn't hit the turf when Jameis Winston's throwing. Someone's going to catch it.
You know, the Browns almost tried to make a little bit of a run there, but it was short-lived because, man, look at that. You got a fumble or, and then they're going to, the first pass after they get fumble, what happens? Interception. I'm like, yeah, that's it.
The Bucs beat the Raiders 28-13. The Seahawks beat the Cardinals 30-18. And then I cannot believe this, man.
Jeez, dude. That was a hell of a game.
The stat line, the Rams beating the Bills 44-42.
Man.
The stat line of Josh Allen. Josh Allen, if you have him in fantasy, you won.
Yeah.
342 yards, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. He rushed for 82 yards and 3 touchdowns, and they lost.
I can't believe they lost to the Rams.
He accounted for all 6 touchdowns.
They lost to the Rams.
Kyron Williams had 2 touchdowns on the ground. Matt Stafford, 320 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, neither team fumbled. Neither team threw an interception. They just didn't. There was no interceptions. It
was a shootout.
It was a shootout.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a shootout. Look at this. Every team scored a touchdown on every quarter of the game. Brutal. But because of that, what ends up happening is that it basically says that the AFC is going to go through Kansas City because Kansas City won. The Bears lost to the Niners 38-13, whatever. But then you have the Chiefs winning 19-17 over the Chargers. Chiefs getting the game-winning field goal off the upright and in. Looking at the standings right now in the NFL. In the playoff standings right now, again, only the 1 seed gets a bye. Chiefs have a 2-game lead, with just 4 weeks to go over the Buffalo Bills. So again, looks like Buffalo is going to be stuck at 2 unless the Steelers overtake them. Steelers at number 3 right now. Chiefs and Bills have both clinched the playoff berth. Texans at number 4, Ravens at 5. You've got the Chiefs at the Chargers at 6, and the Broncos at 7. There's a 2-game difference between the Broncos and the Colts. So it could be we may already know the 7 teams that are going to make the playoffs in the AFC already. In the NFC, Lions and Eagles both clinched playoff berths yesterday. You've got the Seahawks representing the NFC West as of now at the number 3 spot. The Buccaneers at the number 4 spot. Vikings at 11-2 at the 5. Packers 9-4 at 6, and then you've got the Commanders there at number 7. Look at the Rams, just 1 game behind. So the Rams and the Falcons have legit chances. I think the Cardinals and Niners are pretty much done. Looks like Seattle's going to run away with that division at this point.
Yeah, man. It's the playoff picture is starting to get into focus now. Yeah. You know who's on the outside looking in?
Both the Cowboys and Niners.
Yes, sir.
I mean, think about it this way. Both the Cowboys and Niners on the outside looking in. The Bengals are on the outside looking in. Aaron Rodgers is on the outside looking in.
Oh, yeah. No, they're done. He done, dude. Jets are done.
Spurs have the day off today. Only one game going on. It's the Knicks and Raptors.
Yeah, the Spurs actually have 4 days off until their next game, dude.
Nice. Give
Yeah.
give CP3 some time to go visit his family. You're right. The Spurs don't play again till wow, we don't play again till what, Friday?
Yeah. Like I said, 4 days, dude. It's a long time.
That's right. It's because of that NBA Cup thing.
Yeah. The Emirates.
So the Spurs are on the road against the Blazers. Blazers coming in 8-16. That's a winnable game, Joe.
Yeah, man, we say that, dude, but some of these games, man, for the Spurs against these lesser teams, they haven't chilled out, dude.
Nah, I'm okay with Portland. I'd bet good money the Spurs win that game.
The last games between Portland, they've been pretty close, man.
You look at the Spurs record though, 12-12. When did Pop get out? Pop get out right before the Minnesota game, right? They were 2-3. So under Mitch Johnson, the Spurs are 10-9. Can't really complain about it. I mean, you look at it and you go, okay, well, we lost to Utah, right? But then again, the Spurs, beat a decent Sacramento team, beat Oklahoma City, beat Golden State,
What were the Spurs doing this time last year? You remember? They were losing.
So look it up next for the Spurs. We've got Portland, we've got Minnesota, Atlanta, and Portland again. So we got Portland twice. So we got the 76ers on NBA TV and the Christmas game against New York. Joe, we're going to be a winning team with a winning record going into the game on Christmas.
Possibly.
And I think that's going to be kind of a time when the national media takes notice. Remember, Joe, when I said that Stephon Castle needs to have that moment that Wemby did against Chet Holmgren, that block there in January of earlier this year?
Yeah, when he stole his soul.
Because as much as Spurs fans like to give me shit, as of December 31st last season, the rookie of the year was Chet. You cannot argue that. Wemby obviously was the better rookie January, February, March, April, right? Stole his soul. Everyone took notice, and then all of a sudden, it was all about Wemby.
Yeah.
Right now, Castle's probably number 2 or 3 in the rookie of the year voting if it was to happen right now. I'm going to say it. If he balls out on Christmas Day on ABC, 11 a.m. tip-off, Madison Square Garden, goes for 24, 26 points, has a few highlights.
There you go.
That's when he becomes the rookie of the year favorite.
Yeah.
I want to look at that, dude. Let me look at FanDuel's.
Yeah. While you do that, I'm going to give some love to Jeff Garcia of the Locked On Spurs podcast, man.
Yeah.
Locked On Spurs is your daily Spurs podcast, hosted by Jeff Garcia, the lead Spurs writer for Ken's 5 San Antonio. Jeff has a healthy plethora of guests all the time on the Locked On Spurs podcast. You can also follow Jeff on Threads at Jeff G Ken's 5 SA. You can also follow Jeff on Twitter at Jeff G Spurs Zone. So make sure you go ahead and give Jeff a follow not only on Threads and Twitter, but also on YouTube at youtube.com/@Locked On Spurs. This is where you're going to be able to find the replay of the Locked On Spurs podcast. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share.
5,500 YouTube subscribers strong. And Joe, it is happening. It is happening. This is FanDuel's betting odds for the season awards. Stephon Castle, now number 2. 6-1 odds to win NBA Rookie of the Year. Jared McCain of the 76ers, currently the favorite. Dalton Connect with the 3rd best odds. Zachary Richard-Shea with number 4. People are taking notice, Joe. Taking notice. Castle, now with the 2nd best odds, according to FanDuel Sportsbook, 6-1 odds. Let's go through the other odds that they have here. I know that we've already gone over on our time.
Look, we got some odds right here, too. Eson1 from YouTube is saying, Spurs beat Knicks on Christmas Day. Bold prediction.
Bold prediction, baby.
And then we have a question here by Tony Ornelas is asking us, do you guys think the Spurs are still 35 wins, Mike and Joe?
Right around there.
35, 38 is what I had said. Still stick with that, man.
Wemby's odds to win the MVP are now at 100-1 odds.
Wow.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 players ahead of him. 100 to 1 odds. He's at the same odd level as John Morant, Karl Anthony Towns, and Jalen Brunson. Defensive Player of the Year. I gotta see those. We don't have that one out yet. But Rookie of the Year. Well, let me see here. Defensive Player of the Year, Victor Wembanyama, minus 200.
Wow.
Basically saying, just stay healthy, dude. Get to 65 games, just stay healthy. Jaren Jackson, Evan Mobley, and Draymond Green far, far away to do that. Most Improved Player, Jalen Williams. Wasn't he drafted in the same year as Sochan?
Think so, man.
Wasn't he drafted number 12 when Sochan was drafted 9?
Think so. Yeah, he was. They were in the same draft.
There was also
draft class.
And then I got into an argument earlier today because Primo was drafted when I wanted Alperen Şengün.
Yeah.
Just because my girl's from the Houston area. She's not from Houston. She's from Conroe.
Outside of Houston. This is about, what, 15, 20 minutes out?
About an hour.
Is it? I didn't think it was that far.
It's about an hour out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it ain't. It's East Texas. It ain't.
Yeah.
It ain't Houston proper. Not even in the same county.
I like Conroe, though.
Conroe's good, dude. It's fun. But Most Improved, Sixth Man of the Year, Peyton Pritchard, Amen Thompson, DeAndre Hunter are the current favorites right now. Coach of the Year, Kenny Atkinson, Ime Udoka are the 2 favorites. And then Clutch Player of the Year, whatever that means, Nikola Jokic and De'Aaron Fox. Interesting. Joe, again, the Cowboys tonight. And I got to dispel one last, before we go, thing. Because we do the show, and I say lots of quirky things. You say them too. I never once said San Antonio was the goodwill of Texas.
You said we were poor.
Well, that's no lies. No lies detected in that statement. Stating the obvious.
Who said you called it the goodwill?
Someone was on, I think it was Bear County Social Pair. I think it was Mike Bias.
Yeah.
He was like, remember that time Jimenez said that we were the good one? No. For those of you who don't remember, I said Laredo was the goodwill of Texas.
Dude.
I said San Antonio was the Kohl's / J.C. Penney of San Antonio of Texas.
You've thrown shade at Laredo, the Valley, El Paso, McAllen. I'm like, bro.
Austin's the Lululemon.
Lululemon. Damn Lululemons. Probably $120 for a pair of sweatpants.
I was like,
God, the Lululemons, and that's what you're wearing right damn now. No shame, man.
I may have gotten them as a gift, so I'll just leave it at that. That's so funny, dude. That's so funny. But thanks to the guy also who recognized the podcast when we were out and about.
At least he wasn't next to you at the urinal. Hey, man, I like your podcast.
Oh, dude, that
come
no,
on,
man. That was when I was at Sports Star. I was at the I was taking a piss at the Alamo Bowl during the UTSA game.
Oh, God.
Drunk off my ass from Fireball. This one guy comes up to me, dick in hand, while he's peeing and I'm peeing. He goes, dude, I like your show.
Dude, let's talk about this when we're washing our hands, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on.
Hold your thought.
Yeah.
Let's give me some love, man. 210-508-0369 for your financial needs, retirement planning, investment planning, insurance planning, all of that. I've been doing it for 19 years. That's my day job. 210-508-0369. I am a financial guy. Been doing that since 2005. You have an old 401k. You have an old IRA. Hell, even if you need help with auto and homeowners insurance, I got people with me that do that. 210-508-0369. Give me a call, man. I do everybody from multimillionaires to those who are starting their first investment and everything in between, man. So looking forward to working with you. 210-508-0369. Joe, we went long today. Hour 35.
Yeah, man, we did. But hey, we had a lot to talk about, of course, about the weekend of sports, and it's a Monday. I'm glad everybody's tuned in and had fun with us. They blew up the chat today. We had like over 100 messages today. It was hard to keep up with them.
Thank
but
you
I
for
like
the super chats. We had Tex-Mex Frank. We had the True Show. There was a third one.
Jason.
Is
Sith
Jason
Elias.
Garcia, Sith Elias.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Men wear Lululemon.
Apparently Mike's wearing some Lululemons right now, bro. For real talk.
The things I get as gifts, Joe. The things I get as gifts.
Hey, man, you're sporting those Lululemons too. You got no shame, man.
People think that they're probably like those leggings, like the women wear. No, I'm not wearing men's leggings.
God, that's what they're gonna call them now. You gave them that gold now, Meg. You're wearing men's leggings on today's show. God.
Those are sweatpants.
They're men's leggings, dude.
Sweatpants.
You got them at Lululemon. They're men's leggings. God, dude. Can you imagine now they're going to roast you? You know Jeff is going to be watching this. Mike wears Lululemons.
That's so funny, dude. That's so funny. You know what? Got a girlfriend now. I got to date up, man. I got date up. I got to dress up for my girl.
Real men wear pink Victoria's Secret. You're going to be like, hey, my girl got me this new fragrance from Victoria's Secrets.
I know. She was like, I like this cologne. I was looking at it. It was Sauvage.
Oh man,
dude, that crap's expensive, man. I saw that bottle. I was like, look at the price. I was like, you gotta be kidding me.
Well, you know it's legit when it says, what does it say? Eau de toilette.
Eau de toilette. when the U is a V. Like, what is that all about?
Yeah. Probably like 100, 150.
It was 100 per ounce, dude. So 200 for a two ounce.
You know what they use in a lot of these colognes, man, that people don't even know?
Yeah.
They use beaver castor, dude. It's like a scent gland that beavers have. So when these guys, these old school fur trappers go out there and they kill all these beavers and whatnot, a lot of these perfume places, they use that beaver castor. It's nasty, dude. It smells like crap. And they put it in the perfume and everybody's like, it smells so good. You're spraying that crap on you, the cologne, the guys that want to smell good. It's beaver castor, man. Your beard is basically putting beaver castor all over yourselves, man.
Beaver, that's weird.
Yeah, dude. They put all sorts of weird shit in cologne and perfume, man.
So let's go back to Lululemon.
God.
I'm going to tell you this much. I own like 3 things from them. And I bought one and I have a pair of running shorts.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, best running shorts I've ever had.
Really? From where?
I wore them yesterday.
Where?
Lululemon.
Okay. The ones you're wearing right now.
No, these are sweatpants. And I got
look like leggings.
And I got a polo shirt.
Oh, from Lululemon?
The polo shirt's amazing.
All right.
And it wasn't that expensive. So it's kind of funny. I was talking to my boss at my financial firm the other day, and he was talking about various brands of stuff. And he was talking about how his wife goes there. I said, "Do you ever drift into the men's section there?" And he goes, "I didn't know they had a men's section." That he went to Tommy Bahama instead. I was like, "Well, they have a men's section. It's not bad. Not bad.
It's all right."
These are not leggings. These are sweatpants.
Nah, I'm gonna call them leggings because you got them at Lululemon. That's what Lululemon they sell there. They sell leggings.
It reminds me of that movie. Did you see Chips?
Yeah,
the remake of Chips.
No, that one I didn't see. Dude.
So Michael Pena in the scene, he's a complete hornball. Like he's like a sex addict and all that stuff in the movie. And his number one fetish is women wearing Lululemon tights or leggings, whatever.
Yeah.
And he's trying to avoid getting a hard on. And he sees these girls coming out of the gym. And he's like, dude, are those girls wearing Lululemons? I can't look at them. And he's trying to like not look, but he's asking the guy to explain like in detail what they're wearing. It's so funny, dude. It's a fetish, I guess. Tony Anales saying that Chris Rock has to take on Lululemons. Very nice.
Look at this. I was gifted Lululemon pants at Rock'em. Not all Lulu pants are leggings.
That's true.
You get them from Lululemon. They're leggings, man.
Dude, come on. Look.
No, man. Those are leggings. You get to pull the hammy, bro. You pick up your leg.
Yeah, we'll show them next time when I'm not all jacked up from the Rock and Roll Half Marathon.
The one comment JHNSB comes in here. He's been gone the whole show. Oh God, man!
You came in just in time.
Just in time.
All right, man. This was fun. Today's reveal brought to you by MCS General Contracting and Locked On Spurs. Everyone have a fantastic day. Spurs play on Thursday, right? Or like Friday. We have to rock the Cowboys tonight. Cowboys, Bengals. I'm going to take the Bengals 38-17.
I got Cowboys over Bengals.
Wouldn't doubt it, man. That Bengals team sucks. Someone's got to win that game.
I think the Cowboys win this game.
Cooper Rush going to have a career night?
I think so, man.
Very nice.
I think so.
I'm Mike Jimenez. That's Joe Garcia. These are Lululemons. We'll be back tomorrow.
All right. We'll see you boys tomorrow. We're out. Peace.